for joining. Where are you joining from? I am working on watercolor painting today. So I thought to record and I thought to go live and share with everyone how I'm doing. I'm applying water here because my paper is um, wet now here in this spot, but here it is dry. So whenever my paper dries, I go and re-wet the paper again so that I don't get any kind of sharp edges or crisp lines, because I want to show the good um, blurry details here. Okay, I don't want that sharpness, so that's the reason I'm using more and more water. Thank you, Yasmin. I'm working on watercolor painting, and the paper I'm using here is a Archie's paper 300 GSM, and the colors I have is Winsor Newton and Daniel Smith. So these are the paints I'm using. These are Winsor Newton and Daniel Smith paints. It gives me a really good finish. It has a good vibrancy of the paint, and even it looks more quality. If you have any other question, you can ask me. Like, feel free to ask me any questions if you have. I am wetting down my paper, otherwise I will get lot of patches. So to get rid of those patches, it's good um, that you re-wet the paper and then work. So when we are working with watercolor, it's very important to understand the stages of paper when it is in healing mode, right? So there are few stages. When it is 90% wet, then you can add the blurry details if you want, and if you want details to be visible, not that much sharp. So what you can do, then in that case you can wait little bit. You can wait at least 50% of, when the 50% paper is dry, then you can apply on top. So there are the certain stages, we wait for those stages and then we work. And I'm trying to make this quite realistic. So I am going to work layer by layer. Mostly I'm using the pouring technique here. I am wetting down the paper and then I am just dropping that paint. So you know what happened? We get the messy results if you feel like your colors are getting muddy when you are working with watercolors. So the reason, sometimes it's not your paint, sometimes it's not your paper, but sometimes you are not having that much patience to wait for some time, right? And then watercolor don't only depend upon the technique. Understanding the right paper is also very important. Sometimes we overdo the process, and that is also a problem. So without disturbing the other colors, I'm just putting on top. Okay. And now I'm going to pour another color, which will be orange. So I already have some orange color here. I have two variety of orange. So I just mix some red and yellow to prepare orange color. So this is my color palette and I have orange here. And gently I'm just going to touch the surface and leave the few spaces in between because I don't want this to cover completely, but I'm just dropping here and there. and rest, it will automatically, it will happen. And you can see I'm leaving the paper tone here. So when you are working with watercolors, don't try to make it flat. Otherwise, you will never going to get the realistic work. So the simple way of getting the realistic work is you just pour this way, okay, without disturbing the base layers. So I'm not touching the base layers much, but I'm only nicely just dropping that paint, okay? And sometimes I can switch the colors. So I have few colors here. Like I'm only working with red, yellow, these two colors so far, right? And with the help of red and yellow, I prepared this orange. So this is little bit darker orange and this is lighter orange. And these are the only three colors I have used so far in this one. Okay. And then keep playing with the colors. You can see I'm not disturbing the base layers. I'm just dropping paint. And always leave the gaps in between. Otherwise, when we try to fill every area and your surface is wet, it will going to spread everywhere, right? So always leave the gaps in between, like I am dropping here this way. So if I drop here and here, leave some gaps in between, always. And you can do it uneven gaps. Somewhere it can be more, somewhere you can just leave it this way. Hi Yasin, thank you for joining. I'm so sorry for the background noise, guys. If you can hear the background noise, I was not ready for the live today. I just thought to go and share this thing, how I'm doing it, but it was not planned. So I randomly opened my camera and I started with the video. Hi, Hali. Sorry, I can't understand what you are saying, but hi to you. Thank you for joining. Guys, I can only understand English or Hindi. So if you know Hindi, you can speak, or if you know English, so then yeah, it will be good. Now my paper is at least 50% dry here now. So it's time to add more details, because at this point, if I try to add more colors, so it will not going to bleed that much. Okay, so it will not spread that much, but you know, it will stay only in this area wherever I'm dropping. So we work on different stages of wetness. Thank you, Dharya. Thank you so much. I hope you guys can see. I'm trying to show you as much as possible I can. So here you can see still a lot of water is there. So what happens, paper dry unevenly, right? So it here this paper is dry, but this section paper is quite wet. Okay, and then here is mostly it's semi-dry. So where it is semi-dry, that means I can put more and more details, and where it is quite wet, so if I continuously by mistake I will be keep pouring colors, what will happen, it will make your colors flat, muddy. Okay, so this can be technique and this can be mistake also. You have to be aware of uh, what stages you are using for adding details or blurry details or maybe crisp details. Okay, thank you so much, Tadeo. Now here most of my paper is, um, you can say 50% it's dry. So if I add some details, so you are going to see the details will not spread that much, and I can get a details, but these details will not be sharp. Okay, it will be still blurry because my paper is wet. And if you don't want that, sometimes what we do, just with the help of tissue paper we can lift easily. So we can easily fix the mistakes with watercolor. We can lift the paint, we can apply the paint, so a lot of flexibility is there. And then you need patience, right? So we have to leave the paper tone every time. It will going to give you a three-dimensional look. Now I can make it more of different color, but the thing is I have to make sure only working on those areas where it is dry. Okay, so this side it is like semi-dry, this side is semi-dry, but this side is still quite wet. So if I wait for some time, it will be good for me. And then I have another paint here which is brown. Okay, so I can use this brown, little bit tinsy tiny brown I can use, and I can again apply on different area. So if I want some brown color here, I can just apply this way, or I can just put those dots, because you know leaf is not perfect, and if we try to add these kind of imperfections, it looks really good. So when we do the realistic painting, it takes some time. So I'm trying to make the imperfections here. Like this area, I can see some imperfections. Actually, I have a reference image on my laptop. I don't have a physical reference, otherwise I would have shown you. If you want some blurry details and it is not happening because paper is wet here, sorry, this started drying. Okay, so what I'll do, I will take the clean brush, I will dip and rinse my brush here, and then I can again go back and re-wet the area if you want to apply new paint here. Okay, and but you don't want details to be crisp, you still want this to be a blurry. So I'll apply a little bit of paint here, and then I will just check. I will put in one single area. I will just see how that is behaving, and if it is okay, you can apply wherever you want. So randomly I'm trying to add few imperfections. I'm also working on the base part of the sleeve. I'm using the calligraphy brush here, so I can get the thin details. And then any area if you want it to be more of that color, more dark color, you can just put more color in that area. And if my paper is dry, then again I can go and re-wet the area so I don't get the crisp. And randomly adding this way. And it will not come up easily because it needs a repetition. Okay, so watercolors are not difficult if you want to do the realistic painting, but the thing is it takes time. So my suggestion will be that, always take a good breaks in between. Don't try to paint in one go, because in one go you can't do anything, you will only make it messy. So I always suggest to my student that, don't try to go and paint in one sitting. Take time. Okay, so this is it for today. I will continue with the same piece tomorrow. So, yeah. I hope you all like it, and see you tomorrow. Same time I will go live at um, 9:30 IST, right? 9:30 Indian time. So we can connect if you are interested. So you can join me live and you can ask me any questions if you have related to watercolors, related to oil pastels, or um, you know, both. So yeah, this is it for today. See you again. Bye for now.